Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes. Welcome back to the show. This is the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 365, Mike.
Yes.
365. So we've been doing this for a little bit more than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at episode 365. So
Yes.
basically, it plays out to we've done a show every other day for 2 years. Of course, that wasn't how it played out. But if you take the numbers and crunch them and twist them and turn them, every other day for the past 2 years, we've been doing what we're doing.
That's insane.
And it's wild.
When you think about it, for two guys
Mm-hmm.
to do this the way we have, my God. Like I always say, it started in a kitchen table as a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't it be funny to do a podcast? And then next thing you know, here we are, a podcast every other day for 2 years.
Nothing bad really ever comes from a kitchen table if you think about it.
No.
The kitchen table is good.
Kitchen table was very good. And I think all good ideas should start at the kitchen table.
Yeah. If you're ever in a rut in life and things are going bad or things are stale, maybe issues with your significant other, go to the kitchen table.
Go to the kitchen table.
Nothing bad comes from the kitchen table.
No.
Ask the dog, right?
Everything good for a dog comes from the kitchen table.
Good morning, Derpy. What's up, brother?
Good morning, fellas. Good morning. How are we?
We are well. Today, Derpy, I was just telling Mike, is episode 365. We've been doing this show for a little over 2 years. It was July 1st was the official anniversary day. So technically, basically, if you look at it this way, this show has been done every other day for the past 2 years. Kind of mind-blowing. Tomorrow's going to be 366. That'll make it a leap year. I'll maybe mention something small about it, but this is a monumental moment, I think.
Yes, indeed.
No need to waste any more time talking about us. We do got some things we're going to talk about today. The Steelers, they are in camp. Guys, the big names from day one in camp. Elijah Riley. He gets the interception. Nick Herbig, big day. Didn't hear too many bad things. But before I continue, I think the biggest news from camp came from a camp other than ours. The big news yesterday, everybody, was about the calf injury of Joe Burrow. Everybody around the league, especially in 3 cities, off the top of my head, we're super pumped. It doesn't seem to be as bad as it was initially thought. Maybe a strain.
Yeah.
For a pro athlete, that you could deal with this. You get top-notch service to get you back.
Yeah, the video, man, it looked bad.
It did look bad.
I'm like part of me at first was like, "Oh, this is good," and then I was like, "Oh man, that sucks. This guy's great. You like to watch him play for all but 2 games a year, so he can be hurt for the 2 games he has to play us. This injury can flare up against us, and the rest of the year he can be fine." But no, that was almost a huge blow, man. Like the AFC North almost became wide open.
I'm starting to draw a conclusion here, though. Maybe another year or two might tell me if I'm correct or not. However, Joe Burrow in his rookie season, of course, after week 11, he blew his knee. He was done for the year. Then last year, and almost to the day, July 26th of 2022, he had to have an emergency appendectomy.
Correct.
And then this year on July 27th, 2023, he's carted off the field with a calf strain. We could only hope. Maybe this guy is just going to have injury problems his whole career. Again, not good for him, which is unfortunate. Not good for Cincy, which I don't care. But for us, I could deal with this. If this guy ends up being one of these injury-prone guys, throughout his career, I could deal with this.
Dude, but like his injuries happen in meaningless preseason action. He's ready to go right away. That's what if I'm Cincinnati, I am putting him in a bubble and he's not allowed any training camp because going into this training camp, he was saying like he was excited because he hasn't had like a full training camp, hasn't had a full preseason since like his rookie year, if that, and then this happens. Joe, just sit out. If I'm him, I am literally sitting out training camp for the most part. I'm just doing a couple throws here and there, just work with a couple receivers. He's proven he doesn't need the training camp, and when he does train, he gets hurt. Just don't, Joe.
The best thing for Joe, you're right. They have to put him in a bubble. Maybe this will carry over into the season.
Yeah.
But there's 3 teams that play him twice between the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns. That I would intentionally take a couple extra shots at this guy just because he has so far he's found a way to run into injuries pretty regularly, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I if I was the Ravens, the Steelers, or the Browns, maybe somebody who has a history of pulling somebody's helmet off and smashing him over the head with it, somebody of these 3 teams, I would take advantage of this, and even not if in a dirty way, I would do it in a clean way. I would do it in a way that, we're going to take a shot at this guy after every throw he has. We're going to get to this guy as we did after Peyton Manning back in 2005 in the playoff. You got to hit this guy. You have to hit this guy. The longer he stands back in that pocket and you allow him to throw the ball around the field, he's going to kill you.
Oh yeah.
Football is, you have to get to him. You have to hit him. And you know what? If it takes a penalty here, a penalty there, so be it. I would try my ass off to, again, not intentional, but if he gets hit and he gets hurt.
Yeah, if he gets injured, okay, you don't want to hurt him because you don't want to. I don't want him out. I don't want to.
I just want him injured. I don't want him hurt.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I think I said it wrong. I just want him out for the game. Out for the game.
I want him out for the season, but that's just me.
I don't want him out for the season. I like watching him play.
You know why I do? Because have you ever looked at Tom Brady's stupid face? Look at Joe Burrow's stupid face. He has a comparable face to Tom Brady. He's already getting on my fucking nerves with his face.
Tom Brady had that arrogant look. I think Joe Burrow he's that kid who's just skating through life.
Yeah.
And probably doesn't realize how lucky he is.
Right.
It's just just laid back and chill, go through life, having fun, and just oh yeah, everything comes easy to the guy.
You're right.
You know what? You're starting to get me to hate Joe Burrow.
He needs hardship in his life.
Yeah, he needs to not throw 8 touchdowns in a championship.
Yeah.
He
needs to change his number from 9 to 10 because the history of number 9.
Yeah, what if he changed his number and he didn't get hurt the rest of his career?
He's wearing number 9 to honor Messi, or is Messi wearing number 9 to honor Joe Burrow?
Carson Palmer, just saying.
Carson Palmer was a damn good quarterback.
Only the ladies wear number 9
too.
Back to let's jump back over to the Steeler camp where things are important to us. I had an idea. Did you see this, guys? Did you see the woman at Steelers camp who had TJ Watt sign her baby?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this to Derpy. Did you see the way this played out? TJ was up there signing, and there was all the people, and this woman, she takes her baby and she hands him over, maybe 10 people,
mm-hmm.
and passes the baby over to TJ Watt. TJ Watt proceeds to sign the baby, hand the lady her baby back. I'm gonna do this to Derpy. I'm gonna take Derpy. I'm gonna pass him over the crowd of people. TJ Watt's gonna grab him. They're gonna sign Derpy.
This reminds me of the Will Ferrell, Zach Galifianakis movie where the politicians, Will Ferrell signing autographs, or it might have been Talladega Nights or whatever. He signs the baby's forehead. That's what this whole thing reminded me of. We got Buffalo. The kids telling Allen to go hug his sister. Forget about an autograph for him. We got the New York Jets. Dude, son, has a big poster. Saquon, you give me your autograph. My ex will take me back, and baby's being signed. Football fans are nuts.
And as they sign Derpy, the image that you see in front of you will be autographed. And when we come back to the show, that will be what you see all the time is that picture of Derpy with TJ Watt autograph.
No, here's what I'm going. I'm going. TJ Watt has to sign his forehead, and then Derpy has to get it tattooed on.
I'm down. I am
You know
totally
what?
okay with this.
I will pay
plan.
for that.
You know what?
tattoo.
If they win the Super Bowl this year, I will consider it.
Let me ask you this.
No.
Hold on, this is actually pretty good, Mike.
No.
Because this is a I mean, if they win a Super Bowl,
we know a guy. We
do know a guy. He'll do it right on his back porch.
And we will film it.
Yeah, we'll have.
It's gonna hurt, but I'll do it if they win.
It's not gonna hurt.
And then we can have an interview at the same time. This ticks off a lot of boxes for us.
It does.
We can sit down, talk to Stickman while he tattoos Derpy's forehead with TJ Watt's autograph.
On Stickman's back porch. Could you imagine in this heat, sitting on someone's back, just drenched with sweat, pouring with sweat? Somebody's trying to give you a
I would
tattoo.
have a good time. 3 out of the 4 of us would have a great time.
That's true. I like it. I like it, Derpy. And you know what? I like the fact that Derpy said he's going to do it. If the Steelers win the Super Bowl,
I will consider it. Make you my promise.
Now, does it actually have
to
win
be?
It? Does it actually have to be TJ Watt's autograph, or could we counterfeit the signature and then you just get that tattooed as TJ Watt on your forehead?
I think that'll work.
And that'll work. That works for me because I don't have to lift you up over 10 people and hand you over to TJ Watt. So for me, it works.
There you go. From P, that lady will probably get a tattoo of that signature. The oceans of Florida are boiling and we are lost. I think that baby getting a tattoo of the TJ Watt autograph is going to reverse this heat wave and the planet burning and the oceans boiling.
The baby?
So the baby gets a tattoo because he signed the baby and that lady tattooed the baby. And that's going to solve all the climate change that's going on right now. I've cracked the code.
I didn't know the baby was getting a tattoo.
That baby and then Derpy get the tattoo, and that's just going to bring down the global temperature.
Hey, that works for me. Either way, Derpy gets tattooed on the show. It's good for the show. Might not be so good for Derpy, but you know what? That's all right. Derpy doesn't mind. Derpy does not seem to mind.
Derpy doesn't mind at all. Derpy, you're a team player. Way to be a team player, Derpy.
I like it. Derpy. Way to be a team player.
Way to step it up, man. Way to step it up.
We're gonna have an extra plaque here on the walls of the studio with Derpy's name on it if this happens. I'm telling you.
I will get like painted on the wall. We'll get the tattoo thing painted on my wall behind me. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys. I want to talk about Alex Highsmith for a second. There's 2 possibilities here. Alex Highsmith was a 0-star recruit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Highsmith was a walk-on at Charlotte University. Alex Smith was a 3rd-round pick in 2020. Alex Smith had 8 combined sacks in his first 2 seasons. Then last year, when TJ Watt was out a lot of the year, Alex Smith had 14.5 sacks, tied for 5th in the league. Alex Smith had 5 forced fumbles, tied for 1st in the league, before he signs a 4-year, $68 million deal. My question is this for you guys. Are we too hard on Alex Smith? Is Alex Smith possibly one of these guys that gets better over time and, he's really putting the effort and the time into his game and really focusing to becoming a better football player? Because this could be one of 2 things. This could be, as a lot of people say, not just us, but a lot of people do say that he, in his success, has been a product of TJ Watt. However, you do have these people that they don't come out of the gate firing and running on all, hit the ground running. It takes them time. They build up, they get better over time, and they become a superstar. Now with Alex Highsmith, I'm kind of in the middle with him because he could be a guy that, like we always say, is a product of TJ Watt. And again, we're not the only people that say this, but as I said, he was a 0-star recruit. He was a walk-on at Charlotte, 3rd-round pick, 8 combined sacks in 2 years, but as it goes on, it gets better. 2022, 14.5, 5 forced fumbles, 1st in the league. And again, we got to remember, TJ Watt wasn't in the lineup a lot of time last year. Is Alex Highsmith, as what we suspected, this player that needs TJ Watt, or is he just improving over time and becoming a better football player? And if he is, he becomes a lot more valuable for this team than becoming that Bud Dupree type player that we always say needed needed TJ on the other side. Can it be possible that Alex Smith is just getting better over time and maybe he's working his way to being a superstar in this league? What do you think, Mike?
He's improved year over year. I've said that, going into last year. I said that when he signed the contract, Highsmith has improved every single year. But when you look at the sacks when Watt was out, he only had 4 sacks. He was on pace for 8 to 9 sacks. That's not superstar level. That's number 2 type. That's an average outside linebacker starter level. But if he does take that next step and improve to this year to becoming a dominant player, this contract's a steal. You have 2 studs where, he's great on beating the one-on-one block. But when we saw when he was double teamed last year, he didn't put up a whole lot. He didn't do that well when he was the main focus, when he had to be the guy. But if he can, take that next step, the way he has from high school to college to the pros now, getting better all the time, that you're hoping he's still progressing. We're hoping he didn't plateau. We're hoping that he has a couple more levels to reach. If he can reach that next level or next level after that, he can be a superstar. But
because what kind of amazing
that would be insane having 2 a mini TJ Watt,
right?
Someone who on his own, let's say he got 12 sacks last year when Watt was out. I'm loving this signing even more. But he only had a handful of sacks without Watt. But if Watt stays healthy and as long as Highsmith plays the same way he did last year and Watt stays healthy all year, this contract is still a steal. But if he exceeds expectations, this contract's a bargain.
The only thing that you do notice is these teams that have this great edge rusher, as you might call them, they only have the one great guy. Could you imagine a team that has one of these guys on both sides of your line? I mean, that's something that's potentially it could be a possibility here with this football team. And you know what? The thing about Alex Highsmith that I'm learning, he is continuing to progress, and he wants to be better, and he wants to improve his game, and he's he lets it eat at him that people say that he is only a success because of what's going on the other side with Mr. Watt. I would love to see, and again, I never really even considered this, Mike. I always just kind of said, well, you know what, if TJ isn't in, he's not going to get his numbers. If he is, he is going to get his numbers. But when you think about it, if this guy can actually turn into that player, and as you said, this contract is, we're in a really good position because again, what one of these edge rushers, what kind of problems they cause quarterbacks and teams, if we could have 2 of them, we're in pretty good shape.
It's making me think of when we Joey Porter and Lamar Woodley and when we had great teams,
Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green.
When one would go down, the other would just keep going. And now if we can have that's going to be amazing. But like I said, if Watt stays healthy all year and Highsmith performs the way he did last year, that's a steal. It's just if Watt gets hurt and Highsmith still plays the way he did last year, that's going to be suboptimal. Right, but if Watt does get hurt and then Highsmith takes that next step and teams have to double him, triple him just to try and slow him down, that's even better. I'm hoping he can make that next step because he's shown every year he's gotten better. And if he can take a leap,
I don't want to only see him do well when Watt's not in. I
want to see him do well all the time.
If he again, yes, and that's a great sign of him improving and its team improving and the defense improving. And that's a look that most teams aren't going to want to see when you play the Pittsburgh Steelers is TJ Watt making his way into the backfield on one side and Alex Highsmith being close to equal on the other side, making his way to the backfield. I think that's a very dangerous thing. And I think that it could be like I said, including the other things these other moves that we made on defense, especially with the secondary and, these new linebackers. I don't know what's expected with the new linebackers yet, but this could be, if Highsmith keeps pushing himself to become that player, and that's what it comes down to is the way he pushes himself. That's what it's going to come down to. Is he going to take this contract and say, you know what, I'm happy with this? in the way things are going, or do I want to take that next step and try to be the caliber player that TJ Watt, that Max Crosby, that the Boza, any of these guys, if he keeps working to be that kind of rusher, we have a really dangerous attack, man.
Yeah, and he strikes me as that type of player that's going to continually try to get better. He doesn't seem like that guy that's going to get the contract and be like, you know what, I got my money.
I hope you're right.
That's what concerns me, though.
But he seems like he seems like he has the right attitude.
At least right now.
Yeah, he's not like someone like
in the spring training.
Yeah, because if that was me, no, you're fine, Dirk. If that was me, if I got that money, I'd be like, oh, sweet, I got my money, I got my guarantee, I'm good. I'm just going to coast the rest of the way. But he seems like he has the right attitude, and I hope he can take that next step, because if he does, like Ryan said, that's going to help that secondary out a lot. Because we got a lot of new players back there. We got a rookie back there.
The more they keep improving, I mean, it's going to be big. It's
it's a passing league now. If you can have that pass rush, that's going to help your secondary, where you don't have to cover as long. That 1 to 2 seconds is huge back there.
We are down to about 8 minutes of the show, so I'm going to jump over to talk about baseball for just a few quick moments. Of course, it is camp. Of course, we do have 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tonight, we are watching the Steelers, everybody. I just don't know. I don't know if people realize how close we are. 2 weeks, say you get your paycheck today and you get paid on that day. That's all you have to wait is one more pay period, everybody. Here we go. 2 weeks from tonight is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And what the week before, the Hall of Fame game.
In the Hall of Fame game. So we're
and nobody's going to watch because of the two teams.
Who's the Hall of Fame game, Derpy?
The Jets and the mistake by the lake.
Oh, I like this game. I like
to watch Aaron Rodgers on the new team.
Yeah, I like. I'm going to watch this Jets team. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, we were talking about the Joe Burrow injury. If it should have happened to someone in the AFC North, it should have been that team up north.
Yeah, I like the way it's playing out. You know what? But let's move on. Yep. Ohtani yesterday, another first for him. Another record.
Amazing.
He has a doubleheader. He in the first game threw a shutout in the doubleheader. Okay, and then in the second game he hit a home run in the second game of the doubleheader. He's the first player ever to do this. The first player ever. You figure baseball's been going on for a billion years, and there's
over
been
100
billion players. And, guys have pretty much accomplished everything that you could accomplish as far as records. People are just trying to catch up now. But we have another first. Ohtani throws a shutout in game 1 of a doubleheader and hits a home run in game 2. It's never been done before. Make a new page in the record book for Ohtani. And you know what? I think things like this are going to keep happening for him because he's just a different player. Guys haven't done this for a long time as far as pitching and, being a great hitter. And even when they did, they weren't the caliber that Ohtani is. So I expect a lot of new records to come over time with the name Ohtani, whether he's with the Angels, anywhere else. This guy right here, you're going to hear about this guy for a long time.
He's a freak. Like, he's that guy. Like every time he plays, something new, something unexpected is going to happen.
Absolutely. I love it. I love watching him.
I love it. Yeah, this is why we watch sports. You can't get excited about Ohtani. There's something wrong with you. You don't like sports.
Hey, another reason that we love sports: the Pittsburgh Pirates. June 11th, fellas. Today's July 28th. On June 11th, the Pittsburgh Pirates were in first place. They were 34-30 on June 11th. 34-30 in first place. So at this present time, they were 45. In 57, 11 and a half games out of first place. They were off last night, but there still was a little bit of damage done. In the meantime, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they trade away Carlos Santana, pretty much the only natural home run hitter on our team, to the division rival Milwaukee Brewers, who on June 11th, when we were in first place, were a game over Milwaukee. So our division rival, we send our home run hitter over to there. It's officially done. The Pirates season is officially over. This was the point that I was waiting for. Mm-hmm. And as I said, you don't give away your best home run hitter. In theory, of course, Sawinski has more, but you don't give away your best natural home run hitter to your division rival, who you were neck and neck with, fighting for first place just a little over a month ago. Unless the season's over, Pirates threw in the towel. They get in return, they get Johnny Severino, who's an 18-year-old infielder. Another one to
middle
add to the
infielder.
minor league system, which what's that, Mike?
Another middle infielder that we don't need.
Yeah, come on. Where's the pitching? We have no pitch. There's tons of things that we need. Yet the Pirates minor league system remains to be ranked number one in the majors. The Pirates, I don't know how this keeps happening. Whatever they're doing, they have it figured out. I could tell you that. They're taking these kids in. They're getting them prepared. They're sending them off to good teams. This Pittsburgh Pirate team is a joke. It's nothing but a middleman machine that just keeps taking these players and doing this. It's very frustrating. And we as fans should really take a step and a stand, which we tried to do, but the Pirates ended up playing well enough to back us off as the fans, because at the beginning of the year, we were ready for heads on a platter. And they backed us off because they had a good season. They rode the first place thing for a while, but they're back. They're back in the bottom again. Surprise, surprise. I'd be surprised at this point. This time next week, we still have David Bednar. I'd be surprised if this time next week we still have Rich Hill. And I think Andrew McCutchen, he has the it's going to come down to him. He's going to be able to make the decision, I believe, ultimately on the Kutch move, whether he goes anywhere or whether he stays. But I think he does have the flexibility to make that decision. The Pirates season's over, guys, but they do play game 1 of 3 tonight at 7:05 against the Philadelphia Phillies. Mitch Keller comes to the hill with a 9-6 record against Zach Wheeler with a 7-5 record. If anybody cares, that game is at 7:05 tonight. Mike, what do you think?
I kind of want to see the.
Did you say 2 weeks till football?
2 weeks till football, because I kind of want to see the Pirates trade Kutch, because that would be the perfect way to end the season.
That would be the stake through the heart
3 days
of Pirates Nation.
That would be you know what? Just trade them. Just
send them to St. Louis. You know, another team that stinks. Would that be a?
That would be a kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
You know, send them to a contender. You know, if you know, but I don't think he wants to be traded. But you know what? You know, sometimes you have to do what's best for business. And if you can get a good player for him, I trade him. But you know, we see what the Pirates do. They get like the guy that they got from the Brewers. He's not even ranked as one of their top prospects.
Yeah,
like you couldn't even get like a journeyman pitcher or something. I don't. Just kicking the can down the road again. I love it.
Derby would take him with his what are they, the Guardians? Because they're still in the race. And here's the thing, Carlos Santana, I believe he used to be an Indian. Maybe, that might have been a nice, easy transition right there, next town over, basically. He was in this on an organization before. He's a good hitter, but no, he goes to the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers they're going to be buyers, obviously. They're trying to stack and pad their lineup so they can advance through, get to the playoffs, make a nice run to the playoffs. I don't think it's going to happen, but as I said, as a Pittsburgh Pirate fan, this is what we have to face the rest of the season. So please let these next 14 days go fast. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website, brother?
Yinzers.com. Everything you need is right there. Oh my God. Especially that merch store. Get your Bob Nothing merch, because Bob Nothing hates you. And to show your displeasure, buy the t-shirt, buy the hat, buy the mug. Take it everywhere you go. 2WYinzers.com.
There you go. www.2WYinzers.com. Question of the day, guys. Trivia question of the day. It's going to be a Philly question. Of course, these baseball questions aren't going to last too much longer. But the question of the day is a Philadelphia Phillies question. You guys ready?
I am ready.
All right, Derpy. Time to get up from your nap. Question of the day. What was the original name of the Philadelphia Phillies? I'm looking for the team name for the original name of the Philadelphia Phillies. Go ahead and think that over for a moment, guys. We are live. We're live 7 days a week, everybody, right here. Right here. You can catch us Monday through Sunday, 11:30 a.m. in a show that we do every day. The brand new show gets uploaded that same day at 8 o'clock in the evening in podcast form over on Spotify. If you just want to listen to the show, if you only get an opportunity, maybe in the gym with your earbuds or in the car on the way to work, pop the show on, go over to Spotify. It comes up new every day, brand new episode, 8 p.m. over on Spotify. All right, guys. So the question of the day is this. Derpy says it was easy. The question of the day was this, the Philadelphia Phillies question. What was the original name of the Philadelphia Phillies? I'm going to start with Mike. Mike, what do you think the original name of the Phillies were?
Fanatics.
The Fanatics. Not a bad guess. Mike says the original name of the Philadelphia Phillies were the Fanatics. I'm going to lock him in on that. Derpy, what was the original name of the Philadelphia Phillies?
The Quakers.
The Quakers. Is this your final answer?
Yeah.
All right, we'll lock Derpy in. All right, guys. The question of the day is this, because we do play the Philadelphia Phillies tonight. What was the original name of the Philadelphia Phillies? Mike says the Fanatics. Derpy says the Quakers. For some reason, Derpy knew this. The answer was the Quakers.
Okay.
Quakers.
I can't believe I didn't think of that because the Quakers.
How did you know that, Derpy? I mean, you said it was easy.
Derp. Hell yeah.
Were you digging into the Philadelphia Phillies facts before we came on, knowing that this was going to be the trivia question of the day, or did you know
Nope.
this?
I just knew it.
Huh. Okay.
That was
Good enough
before
for
my
me.
time, Derpy. Isn't that what you always say when you don't know the answer? Before
What-
my time.
You're right.
I like what P said, stevedores or something goofy like that.
I can't. I don't know why I'm not getting anything up from him. I don't know. I'm watching the board. I don't see. Has he been commenting all show?
Yeah, for a while there. Yeah, me and him were commenting back and forth. Yeah,
But,
I was trolling Twitter, so I missed his comments.
Yeah, I don't know what I got going on here on the board. Mike, do you have anything before we get ready to take off for today?
Weeks of football, 2 weeks till Steeler football, 1 week till football, and we no longer have to deal with the Pirates.
Can you believe
It's almost
this?
here, folks. Folks, I can't even say folks. I hate that word. It's almost here, peeps.
Pete, or I'm not Pete. Derpy, what do you got, man?
Before I say something, you want to announce that or?
We're still working on it. I'm still working on to see if it goes through or not. But if it does go through, Derpy, I promise you, I will be passing you over people to get autographed. But Deb, I'm still waiting on things on my end.
What you
Stairway
got,
to
Derp?
7. Stairway to
Yeah.
7.
Stairway to
There you
7. All right.
TJ Watt tattoo. Let's go.
This could be the biggest
Right.
moment of my life.
Right across your forehead.
TJ, or if Derpy gets TJ Watt tattooed right across his forehead, I swear. My thing for the day is this: only a handful of teams have a winning record over the Georgia Bulldogs through history. The Alabama, they are 25. The Georgia Bulldogs are 25-42 against Alabama. Alabama has a winning record. The Georgia Bulldogs are 14-18 against LSU. The LSU Tigers have a winning record. And of course, one of the other teams on the list is the Pitt Panthers, which Georgia never beat. The Georgia Bulldogs are 0-3 against Pitt all time, which could go back a million years. But the bottom line is there's only a handful of teams that have a winning record against Georgia. And one of those teams are the Pitt Panthers. They're 0-3 against Pitt in the history of the two schools. So there you have that.
Oh, 3-0 is 3-0, boys.
That's right.
Doesn't
That's
matter
right.
when it happened, boys.
That's right. Exactly.
I'll give Pitt that. It doesn't matter because I guarantee you look at Penn State stuff. We have records against teams that are great now that sucked back in the day.
Hey,
It
but there
doesn't
you have it,
matter.
everybody. I do
You
want to
win
say
when you
thank
win.
you for checking us out. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you. Each and every one. There's not one that we don't appreciate.
Except you. You know who we're talking about.
For Derpy, Mike,